Hello, everyone. Today I'll be talking about a powerful model in consumer behavior, which is motivation, ability, and opportunity, or MOA for short. Uh, this concept helps explain how and why consumers pay attention to advertising messages, whether you're in marketing, management, and understanding MOA. It helps create better strategies for that truly connect with people. I like to start with motivation. Motivation refers to a consumer's desire or willingness to engage with an ad or brand message. It's often driven by personal relevance, emotion, curiosity, or even, some risk. Some examples, I'll say if I see an ad about fitness supplements, I'm taking supplements. Right after I've made a New Year's resolution to work out, boom, in instant interest, that message has, feels relevant to me. Marketers can increase motivation by, making the ad feel personally relevant. You can relate to the ad in your personal life using emotional appeals and, creating suspense or a novelty. When consumers are motivated, they pay closer attention and process information more deeply. So depending on the brand or depending on the crowd that you're going for, that should drive what you know, your motivation should be. Next is ability. I want to talk about whether, consumers have the mental or physical capacity to understand the message. And, one thing learn just over the years that, everybody thinks differently. Nobody thinks the same. So I ain't gonna say that, nobody thinks the same. Folks have similarities on how they think, but nobody is really thinks the same. I don't think it's really no right and wrong way to doing that, doing anything. So, but, it's all that kind of ties into motivation, uh, you got to be motivated. And if you feel like you have the ability or have the mental or physical capacity to understand, or you try to understand, then, you know, this can depend on a person's knowledge, education level, or even how the ad is, presented. Have you ever seen an ad full of jargon or tuned out immediately? That's a failure in providing, ability. Some marketers improve this by, using simple, clear language, visual aids, and examples. Repetition makes you perfect. I say you do it quite enough, you get good at it, step by step. If consumers can't understand the message, even high motivation won't even help. Uh Last but not least is opportunity. This is about, the external environment. Even if I'm motivated and able to understand an ad, I need the right opportunity. Meaning that can mean various things. Time, attention, and low distractions. Think of a fast scrolling Instagram feed. Brands only have a second or two to grab attention. Uh, but once they have your attention, it could lead to motivation, capabilities, uh, you know, things of that such matter. Marketers can create opportunity by, placing ads in low distraction environments, ensuring messages are short and well timed, and repeating the ad across different platforms. Without opportunity, even the best ad can be, missed. Um, some real world, reflections, and I've seen these concepts, apply beyond marketing. I'm a supervisor in the food industry at Wayne Sanderson Farms. If for those who don't know, when I train new team members, I naturally consider their motivation. Do they care about learning? Their ability. Have they been trained properly? And I, introduce the opportunities at this particular facility. Do they have the time and support? if any of those are missing, communication fails just like in advertising, and yeah, man, you just yeah, a lot of those concepts, play a role in, grabbing a consumer's attention, reaching out to their needs, they wants, you know, you gotta have a great presentation to, you know, get that target audience that you want. Uh I'm not gonna be brief, to wrap this up, the MOA model isn't just, a theory. It's a practical framework from designing better ads and improving communication overall. When we understand what drives consumer attention and decision making, we can make ads, that stick and, get the message out that matters. So thanks for watching.